In this video, we dive into how Chief Fabrication uses innovation and technology to meet our customers' needs. There's so much innovation happening in the world today, and that spans across all industries, and it doesn't escape Chief Fabrication either. I know you guys have been updating equipment in your plant, and one of those pieces is the Cobot welder. Brady, can you talk about how that is going to help with short-term projects and long-term partnerships?
Yes, so we implemented a new Cobot welder for projects with higher volume, repetitive welds. One thing with that, it will reduce scrap, as well as having a lower rework workload as well. Part of the long-term success with that is optimizing costs with lower labor requirements, as well as enhancing flexibility to handle more projects with that. Repeatable programming is another benefit with that. And strategic growth is somewhere that we can fit that Cobot in for long-term success as well.
So you guys take these different tools and you have them in-house that allows you to really produce things on demand right there. How does that help with being able to serve your customers?
Well, one example is it helps to reduce lead times. It's very hard to sync two manufacturing companies' schedules together. You might be busy, they might not be busy. And so it always ends up being weeks before you get your product back. The second part to that is quality. I mean, we feel like if we can control our quality destiny, we feel like that's the best route for us to take. That's another benefit of bringing something in-house for us. And then the third part of it would be the cost-effective portion of it. If we've made the decision to bring something back in-house, there's probably going to be a cost benefit to it that we can pass on to the customer.
And so there are a lot of recent upgrades that Chief Fabrication has implemented. And so when you think about those recent upgrades, like the tube bender and the powder coat system, why are those important?
Those are new pieces of equipment for us. The tube bender is one, the powder coat, automated guns, as well as infrared oven, which we're working on right now. Those pieces of equipment give us bigger capabilities to do different things for our customers. One thing with the powder coat system is we've added a new controller, 12 automated guns that will increase the paint efficiency as well. And then we are redoing the control panel for that as well to implement the same technology in our Color Max that is in our primary booth too. The infrared oven is another piece that we talked about that has 22 new burners on the top and the bottom of the part window. That will allow us to have a one-pass quality on a two-coat system for 3D parts. And that also allows us 360 degrees of coverage with line of sight on those parts. So the tube bender is another piece. We implemented a new tube laser a couple of years ago. So we have new capabilities with that where we consolidated 4 operations into one. With the new tube bender, we went from a 2 to a 3-inch tube bender, and that allows us to have more capabilities for our customers for future projects.
And so, Tim, with these new products and the machines that you have, what opportunities does that allow Chief Fabrication to take on?
Well, it really opens it up because, the first part of it is you got to understand your process. How do we optimize our process? And how do we look at the different technologies to do that? Because I know with the Cobot in particular, we were looking for flexibility, but also it had to be optimized for our process. So once we looked at that, we looked at flexibility so that we could do a wide range of projects, and all that stuff helps with customer demand.
Brady just mentioned with the tube bender that it eliminated some other processes and reduced it. How does that help the customers?
So originally we were making a lot of our tube products on a saw, drilling ops, and a CNC mill. What has been able to occur with the tube lasers, we're able to do sometimes 3, sometimes 4 processes in one, and then that leads to more quality, and then that ends in the tube bender. So in some cases, we've taken 4 to 5 steps and brought them down to like 2. So another thing with a tube laser, once you get that set up, it runs perfectly every time. When you have multiple processes involved, you have multiple ways for quality to degrade, I guess you'd say.
Yeah. And so with these opportunities, how does that play into long-term strategy and success?
One thing with long-term strategy, we really need to maximize our material flow. And that's something we continually take a look at with the amount of material we have in our plant, the amount of material that goes through our plant. Having just-in-time inventory, we have a STOPA system that handles a lot of that, but maximizing that sets us up for long-term success, as well as cobots and automation. We've invested in some cobots. We have automation in numerous pieces of equipment throughout the facility. And another one is automated tools with quick changing tool technology, minimizing that downtime between parts, minimizing that downtime with different processes within that part, sets us up for long-term success going forward.
Yeah. And so with these different parts, and you're working with different customers, Tim, there's always that ability to adapt to maybe what they're asking for, what they need. But then you have to make the decision of, do you acquire a new piece of technology or do you upgrade what you have? How do you make those decisions?
Well, you've always got to look at the current Industry 4.0 landscape. How can that benefit our processes, and how do we do that to either maximize efficiency or create more capability? And it's an ongoing thing. You got to stay up to date on the latest technology, but it's something I'm very interested in. And I think that's part of what helps us do what we do at Chief.
And I know, Tim, you're involved in this, but Brady too. How do you ensure that what you have today is still state of the art, even though 5 years from now, things are going to be changing?
Yep. So machines continue to evolve. We continue to look at machines. We're looking at machines now. Different things that happen with machines, the automation of the machines, they continue to improve and get better, but also the AI technology is going to be a big part of these machines going forward. Machines were already capable of looking at different material thicknesses of plate going through, as well as imperfections in that material. So that'll be a big thing to embrace going forward. Let's work smarter, not harder. And then also another big thing, and I know Tim has kind of touched on this a little bit, is 3D printing. We are just kind of scraping the surface with that. 3D printing will be something that becomes more involved in our facility. It is something we can use with tooling. It's something we can use with different processes and avenues going forward. So 3D printing, AI technology, those are big things. Automation continues to evolve as well.
So you do have those innovative processes. You're looking at new tools. How does that help you, Tim, to think about these long-term partnerships with the customers that you are working with?
Yeah, it really boils down to cost effectiveness. How do you get there? I mean, the customer wants cost effectiveness and quality. The way we get there is we constantly, survey the latest technology, and how do we bring that into our process and deliver for the customer?
It's been such a great conversation thinking about how the customers are helping to drive where fabrication is going, knowing the different equipment that you guys have, the equipment that you can get, what you're looking at. So I'm really excited to see what's next for fabrication and all the different innovations that you have, how you're condensing processes, and really just being able to be more productive with what you have. So I'm looking forward to what's coming down maybe 5 years from now. So thank you for the conversation today.
Thanks, Beth.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us with this conversation. If you want to learn more, visit the link in the description below.